coronavirus pandemic. There's another group of workers that are often unheralded, but have been essential during this pandemic. Day in and day out, grocery store employees are showing up for work. They're putting themselves at risk to ensure that the rest of us have enough to eat. Today, the Washington Post reported that at least 41 grocery store workers across the country have now died during this pandemic. Many other workers say they don't have the masks, the gloves, and sanitizer that they need to protect themselves on the job. And the Post quotes one worker at a grocery store in Virginia who says going to her job, quote, feels like a war zone. Joining our conversation, Marc Perrone is the president of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union. It represents nearly 1 million grocery store workers around the country. Marc, thank you for taking a few minutes. I mean, we say unheralded here. We're talking about folks who have all the same fears that we all have about this disease, about how they could catch it, folks and their families could catch it, but they don't have the luxury of working from home and they need the paycheck still. When an employee says it feels like going into a war zone to go there and get that paycheck, to do that work, what can be done that's not being done right now?
I think that several things can be done. Quite frankly, customers could be much better at their social distancing inside the stores. I think that they should wear masks when they go in and gloves. They should limit themselves to one person per basket. And, you know, they should throw away their PPE if, in fact, they did wear gloves or mask in the stores. And those are some of the big things that I think customers can do right off the bat. I also think some of our politicians could be a little bit more aggressive as far as demanding people to wear masks and gloves when they go into stores, because it is transmission points that we're concerned about as a society to make sure that we don't make other people sick. So there's the consumers that are in the stores, or our workers that are in the stores. And according to a survey that we just ran, 98% of them believe that they're going to get the virus by going to work.
I think you make a really good point there about us as consumers. If we read stories, watch segments on television like this and say, oh, wow, that's right. You know, folks working in these grocery stores, imagine what they're going through right now. So much of the responsibility falls on us as consumers in terms of mitigating to the best we can those fears.
Yeah, I was in the stores last weekend. I went to 7 different stores, union and non-union alike. Probably 50 to 60% of the customers didn't have any sort of mask or cloth covering over their faces. A lot of the workers didn't have, in some cases, in the stores that I was in. But, you know, we do have a responsibility as individuals. That's what, you know, America's about, a certain responsibility we have for ourselves and for the people that we work around. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do it. I understand that masks and PPE should be safe for our health care and our emergency responders. However, if we're going to stop the transmission of the disease, if we're going to get back to our normal society, we as a group have to do this. Now, we've instituted a new campaign called ShopSmart. If we want customers to text ShopSmart to 23396 so that they can get the information that they need in order to do the right things. And we're also going to do an ad campaign across this country to try to encourage consumers to do the right thing. Look, we want our employers to try to urge customers to do it, but they've been reticent about doing that. Because the CDC guidelines initially had suggested that if people had masks on, it meant that they were sick. And so when those guidelines came out like that, it sort of gave people the impression, oh, I don't want to go to the store because people may be sick. Look, we can all protect each other if we would just wear these masks for each other and reduce the amount of people that we're sending to the hospital in the first place.
You know, that's right. Those mixed, those contradictory signals, I think, that were sent on the public wearing masks at the beginning of this versus what's being said now. It gets to me a little bit hearing what you're saying there, the impact that's having and continuing to have on folks who are out there trying to do their jobs under incredibly difficult circumstances. Marc Perrone, thank you for spending some time with us today. Appreciate that.